All right. What's the motherfucking deal? Sauce Nation, I hope you guys are all doing fine and dandy this evening. I apologize. I could have started on time, but I was hungry, so I had to eat something real quick. So, you know, if y'all have seen how fast I wolfed that shit down, it was ridiculous. But welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network, so that means we're talking all sports, but only Houston. So with that being said, you know, let's get into win it. We're going to talk about a couple of things, man. We're going to talk about how injuries have impacted the city of Houston on their championship quest. And I mean, not just the Texans, you know, not the Rockets at the most inconvenient of times. I mean, the Astros, I've seen several significant names going down as of late. Even last year on the run that they were making when everybody thought that they were going to be out of it, they had a significant batch of injuries that took place. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. We're going to talk about is the city of Houston cursed by the injury bug, or is it just something that all teams deal with and we've just had our fair share? But you know how we start this thing off, man. First and foremost, there is no sauce without the freshest motherfucking ingredients, and the freshest motherfucking ingredient is you. So we're going to get a little roll call in, Sauce Nation roll call. Y'all know how this goes, man. Hey, if you're from the city and that city is Houston motherfucking Texas, man, shout out your side with pride. If you're not from the city, man, let us know where we can digitally send that love. You know what I'm saying? So let me know where you from, what you represent, your state, city, town, block, hood, avenue. You know what I'm saying? Latitude, longitude, military ranking, gang, set, click. You know, however you get out, however you identify, man. You know, if you interplanetary, if you own some Zeldar alien shit, you know, whatever galaxy you represent. I know some of y'all be claiming Fortnite hoods, and that's no good. But hey, it is what it is, man. It's all motherfucking love. I got plenty of love for everybody. You know, like I say, you know. Let's see what we got in the mix, though. And now we're going to dive right into it. Titans up. What's the motherfucking deal? Always good to see you Titans up, man. Like I say, look, hey, the Titans fan be going hard to some of y'all so-called Houston fans, man. What's up with that? What's the deal with that? But plenty of love. Titans up, Asheville, Houston B, Tony, Texas, Berkeley, Balls, Brandon, 335. What's the motherfucking deal? Ed, man, you always got to, you know, you got to appreciate anybody named Ed. So, you know, what's the motherfucking deal? Voodoo Child. What did Voodoo beat Miss Voodoo C in here for once? What's going on? What's today? We need to take note of that. Voodoo Child, what's the motherfucking deal? Good to see Shaq Kush in an early string. Boogie Kush, exactly. Wise, what's the motherfucking deal? Heidi, Dr. Psychiatrist Heidi. J-Pop, what's the motherfucking deal? Justin Savosky, there you go with that. Go Wiles. I ain't mad at you, though. You always show love, so it's good to see you, man. I got to get this one right. I'm just going to call it Slayton 26. I'll be calling it everything else, but you know, we're going to call you Slate 26. What's the motherfucking Broderick Brooks, man, always good to see you, man. I'm glad you could join us. White Persuasion. You are, yeah, over there with the fat girls and the churros. I see you, White Persuasion. It's all love. I like churros and I like fat girls, so it's okay. You know, nothing wrong with that. Main account, good to see you, man. Chief Flores represents South Park already. Oh, there you go. Look, I knew it before I got on. I'm like, they're going to have that farm talk coming in. I see you, 335. North side already, Monty G, west of the road. Oh, y'all already know how I go on the road, Death Row. Sugarland, holding it down. Everything ain't sweet in Sugarland, man. Hold up. Baytown, Dirty Bay, I see you. Darren, what's good, man? Good to see you. St. Louis, Missouri, what's the motherfucking deal? Already shout out to, look, we got some nationwide sauce. You know what I'm saying? St. Louis got the flavor. Uh-oh, Katie Tigers, there goes Heidi. Gonna get us started. Yeah, man, I had to get the Crow back in action, man. Had to come back bigger and better than ever, man. You know, he got the Gucci shades, got the Astros hat on, man. Real family representing downtown Atlanta. We already know how that goes. It's a little low. Okay, we'll turn it up. Is that a bit better? Let me know if the sound is a little bit better. Jason Webster, what's the motherfucking deal? Always good to see you, Jason D. Richmond, Cruzito, Southwest already. Like I say, man. Okay, let me know. We Gucci, we good. All right, you know what I'm saying. We can fix that. It's the SWAT in the motherfucking house, but your real family, you ain't from the SWAT. What's that? Southwest Atlanta. Anyway, man. Yeah, look, the Crow, he just chilling, man. He cooling right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, he had to come live in effect. And, you know, he's sitting low. He's sitting fat down south. It's all Gucci. So like I say, man, we're going to talk about some things today. And like I say, it's always good to see y'all, man. Every day that you wake up, you breathe, and you get to carry on, man. You got to appreciate it, enjoy it. Like I say, nothing is promised to anybody. So, you know, take advantage of it. Take it and run with it. What is that? Carpe diem. seize the day. Excuse me. Don't burp on people though. That's impolite. So we're going to talk about injuries in the city of Houston and how they have impacted the various teams around the various professional leagues and maybe some college stuff too. We'll see how that works out. But first and foremost, let's talk about the most recent situation and how an injury kept us from possibly winning a championship this year. Well, it didn't stop the Astros, but we're talking about the Rockets, of course, with one high-paid, high-profile player by the name of Chris Paul, a.k.a. CP3, going down at what seemed to be the most inconvenient of times and hurting the damn hammy. You know, I feel honestly if CP3 plays, we go on, we move forward, and we beat the brakes off LeBron and give him a good reason not to come to Houston and send his whack ass to L.A. But it is what it is. He's a man with a family, has to make his own decisions. You know, and I know the injury, let me speak a little English, the injury, Brian Hollis, what's the deal? Still waiting for greatness, what's the deal? Here's the deal. Well, what's the deal? Here's the deal. I know a lot of people are upset, you know, with the CP3 situation because of the injury, feeling like he didn't deserve the cash because he's had a history of injury. Sees the carpet. And I know a lot of people hold that against him, and I could understand that. And like I say, I can't be completely oblivious to the fact that that is a problem. When you talk about money and you see a consistent pattern, you know that is very worrisome. And you're only going to get older. Body's not going to get younger and fresher unless, you know, you do the LeBron thing and take you some steroids. But not only CP3 throughout the year, because I feel the Rockets could have had a better overall record. I honestly feel if the Rockets would have been completely healthy, they could have been a 70-win team. And that's what people are not acknowledging, that this core is much better than we want to think. We see everybody else making moves, and we see everybody else, you know, scrambling to compete because they saw what we did. They're imitating us, okay? We even put the fear in Golden State. That's why they're running and go. They're happy boogies there for cheap, and they're trying to make some moves too because, again, they don't feel as invincible as they thought they were. They weren't the number one team in the regular season. They didn't have the number one record, so they know that they have flaws. They have weaknesses, and I think that we exposed that, and a lot of the teams saw that, and now they're trying to capitalize on what we did. But throughout the year, you got to look at Luke missing a significant number of games throughout the season. Cost us some L's, I feel, a couple of them. You know, his defensive presence was necessary. We can talk about, excuse me, Harden going down for a few games. We took an L or two, I believe, while he was out. CP3 missing so many games initially in the beginning of the season. And, I mean, I'm sure you could take a couple of these names and here and there and you add those contributions, you know, because I don't think we took too many losses in double digits. I'd have to go back and see. But any of the losses we had that we did have were relatively close. I think we had a couple of blowouts along the way, but I got to go back and double check. But these guys and their contributions would have been appreciated. And I think that you could have turned a couple of those losses into some W's. And one of the biggest injuries, I guess, was the injury to Ryan Anderson's testicles, because apparently Mrs. Anderson must have did some damage because he didn't have it this year. He didn't have the juice. He didn't have the sauce, or he didn't have none of it. And like I say, it's very unfortunate because he couldn't fucking shoot for shit, and he's making a whole lot of money that could be given to somebody who could be an active contributor to the motherfucking team. Let's look at this. Let's get a little early raffle. We're gonna get us a couple of raffles in today, and we'll start off with 100K. We'll increase as we go. So let me see. Let me pull this up so I can see what y'all are talking about. All duckets, no buckets. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Hey, Heidi pimping. No, Anderson. Yeah, he had a girlfriend, I believe, that died, but he's gotten remarried, and he has the new chick. I haven't had a chance, like I said, to keep up with a lot of the summer league. Has there been some action from Gray? How are we looking in that league? You know what I'm saying? Muthaf, Nene, yeah, Nene, yeah, Nene. I'm not gonna, Nene. He just because he doesn't play on back to backs, so I don't even know how I consider him. I I don't even know how you consider him. But I agree, man. We're not a 65-win team without CP3 because we're the same team that we were the year before and, you know, a couple of years prior without him. I mean, we're all right, you know, if you know the good things come to the Rockets. I might have said that. But again, like I say, rhino hairspray poison. Oh, that's awful. But like I say, looking at another interesting situation involving injuries and eliminating the potential. 7:13 p.m. So shout out to the city of Houston. You know, I should start acknowledging that more, I guess, since I'm usually streaming about 7:13 sometime, you know, so I need to start doing that. Maybe starts when I'll start doing the raffles. That's a side note to take. Stick with it. And let's talk about the Texans, man. And the Texans had some very significant injuries. And you would think, you know, because basketball is, you know, there's fewer players, you know, each guy is a bigger contributor. And, you know, it almost holds more weight. But when you have an accumulation of injuries like the Texans did, especially primarily on one side of the ball and then on the other side of the ball, the most important position that you can play, it's a huge impact. So especially when we saw how great Deshaun Watson was playing at one point in time and felt like, you know, and it took me a while to just sign on to it because I was like, okay, it's good. And then right when I'm just like, okay, it's legit. You know, the young man goes down, has an injury, and it's very unfortunate. And I think to pile on top of that is, you know, finally getting the taste of having a good quarterback because we've gone so many years, so long without having. I mean, since the franchise has been in existence, there has not been a quarterback who instills fear in opponents yet until Deshaun Watson. That people are, oh, we got to watch out for that guy. Schaub was a product of the system, and then once the system got figured out, Schaub was figured out. Carr could have been a great quarterback. He makes shitty quarterback lists that are obviously biased, but Carr could have been a solid quarterback. Just there was no line to protect him, and I think that, you know, he had football traumatic syndrome, whatever you want to call it. I mean, he was just in a bad situation. I mean, he had the jitters. You know, and obviously you can look at it historically, but then, like I said, going back to that last year, you look at Watt, you know, who knows if he was going to bounce back. No, I mean, he still had coming off the back injury, coming off an injury the year prior too, but, you know, the defense was good the year prior, and there was no Vrabel dismantling things. But I think last year was more of an impact. We had Merciless go down, a solid contributor that a lot of people do not give enough credit. And you can think about it, I mean, there was just injuries everywhere. I mean, that whole D-line almost was decimated. I know Covington, quite a few other guys. I can't remember. Did Reader get dinged up a little bit? I mean, all over the place. You had injuries. And like I said, I should have made a list, I guess, of everybody who went down. But, I mean, damn near everybody. I mean, starting from game one with the Jags, you saw people dropping like flies. You saw Savage the concussion situation, you know, shit, even the Heineken kid, you know what I'm saying? Shit, he got his top popped after one play. It's just so you and your homeschool coach with his camp, it was live. What's okay? That's what's out. Yes, it is. See, he is feared in black because he's not well, compared to most football players, not a big black guy, so that doesn't count. Instead of a top QB, well, you know, that's what people have phrasing. People have, you know, certain lingos that they like to use to identify certain things, and it usually tends to be associated with certain shit. It's no big deal. It is what it is. Yeah, exactly. Dante Foreman. Yeah, I wrote him down. Dante Foreman, Fuller not being there early in the thing. Yeah, good point, Wise. I appreciate that. Yeah, everybody went. All the fucking tight ends died. Shit. I mean, well, let me not make a joke about it because fucking what's his name? He was out of there. Fedorowicz, career over with. Fucking Dante Foreman, as soon as he starts to blossom, I mean, he starts showing. I mean, he got better each game, it seemed like. I mean, he just, he wouldn't get like a ton of carries initially, but we start seeing flashes, and then the game that he just breaks out and really starts balling goes down on a great play. Phrasing? No, we're always using phrasing. Now, if I wasn't paying attention, well, I apologize. Braxton, yeah. I mean, and that's the funny thing. I mean, other than I think Will had he was injured like twice throughout the beginning of the season. I think he missed a couple of games later on, if I'm not mistaken. But Braxton, when he started to show some flashes, I mean, when it was his chance to shine a little bit, he gets injured. Eli's dumpster fire. Oh man, no, Joe Flacco is Matt Schaub, and there's that. So, I mean, you got a lot of things. I mean, just look at these pieces. I mean, now, I say you have Watson back. That puts you in a few more games. I think that you have those pieces with the way the AFC South played. I think the Texans could have squeaked into the playoffs, regardless of how the season started early on. You have those integral pieces, again, Watson, who was getting better every week. You have Watt, who I think was kind of getting his legs back under him again, no sacks or anything like that. And I guess saying getting his legs back under him, he had a leg injury. Well, that's awful. And again, like Merciless is a productive guy, and again, who gets no credit, but you're missing a lot of plays. So you're getting a lot of guys who don't see a lot of time, a lot of guys who don't, expect to put in that kind of workload, but there's no excuses, next man up. That's the way we roll. But there's no next man up when you go from a quarterback like Deshaun Watson to a player, since we're going to use certain terms, a quarterback like Deshaun Watson to a player like Tom Savage. Now, it's coming, man. It's coming. Throw the Flacco finger up on the crow. Oh yeah, and that's what I'm gonna say with the crow. What I'm gonna start doing after today is, since I know the majority of people, they use super chat and things like that. If you want to call crow on somebody, the Streamlabs donations will be access to the crow. So it'll be the crow sound, stuff like that. So that way, I know sometimes people are like, I'll call crow on this and call crow on that. So y'all will have the opportunity to have some crow control. And like I say, I'll be working on, having up different styles of crow, so this crow doesn't get too stale when we have to eat too much crow. But it is what it is. Every time Heidi talks, put it up. And look, hey, Bob McNair had his injuries too. He recovered from them. It wasn't this year, but he's had his things too. And again, regardless of people's opinions, thoughts, and feelings, I don't want to wish death on anybody like that. So I'm not going to go to that extreme. But these injuries in this city, it just seems like at the most inconvenient times. Again, like I said, we really weren't on track necessarily to do anything with the Texans. Wasn't guaranteed, but the fact that a record-breaking, I mean, you're talking about records would have been broken had Deshaun Watson continued to play. He'd have been probably the greatest rookie quarterback in history. But again, we'll never know. We'll never figure it out. He'll just have to be the best second-year quarterback in history. I'm not from Houston. Call Warriors. The secret is eating a house. Oh man, maybe that. Man, I seen these fucking. Speaking of pancakes, I saw these fucking Japanese pancake things. They look good, but they look awful. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. They were like pancakes, but fatter and fluffy. It was. I don't know. It looked like it might have been too much work to eat those motherfuckers because they were huge. Like a fucking stack was. It was crazy. Like 3 pancakes, fucking like this fucking high, just fucking like this thick and shit. But here's the deal. We can talk about the Astros also. I know the Astros have taken a few significant hits. I know McCann went down, and I think he has knee surgery or something like that. That's probably the thing. Yeah, look, anybody who had some knee issues, that was McCain with that lateral movement bumping around, hurting their knee, knocking it out of place. And then I want to say, was it Correa? Yeah, Correa. And, like I say, here and there has been a lot of little dings. And I have a question, because we don't talk about the Astros enough. I want to know y'all's thoughts, okay, on something that I thought was just a little bit peculiar, but it's something that they do all the time. How did y'all feel about naked ass Keuchel in the body issue? And how do you think athletes feel when they do the body issues? I wonder about that. Like, I mean, of course you will, depending on what type of athlete you are. You're probably proud of your body because, you're a world-class athlete. But how do you guys as fans feel about that? We'll make sure to make that a talking point for the people who come in late and when we hook that up. Let's see. And we'll drop another little raffle off. Maybe like another 100,000. Like I say, keep that accurate. That's funny. That's fucking funny, Heidi. Now that is definitely, that's fucking funny, North Korea. Yeah, I think Heidi does. Heidi probably does keep a collection of naked Houston athletes. She probably got a fucking naked David Carr picture somewhere. Clicking the mouse. Double click. So you say a majority are insecure. But that's the thing, man. Still waiting for greatness. It's a very good point. Because this is something that we've talked about before, briefly. Athletes and people in general, celebrities, people of that status, just because people have money and they have fame, it doesn't mean that they're completely confident. A lot of these athletes continue to strive for better because they lack certain company. They try to work to overcome it. And a lot of them have some very large insecurities. Some of them have they're extremely sensitive about things. Just because a motherfucker's good at something, extremely good at any particular thing, it doesn't mean that they're great at everything or that they're completely stable in every aspect of their lives. So that's something that you definitely have to, you can consider. Like I said, I wouldn't think everyone. I mean, some of them know they put in the work. So I think some of them, hey, they like, fuck it. They appreciate what they do. But then I think there are those who are going to be like, yeah, what is going on here? Okay. There's going to be some of those who are going to have, they're going to have some issues. Okay, I'm about to say that. All right, sorry about that. A crazy message. Honcho McLean. See, I should expect that without even reading who wrote it. And then I did see who wrote it. That's exactly what I expect from you. That's why you from Southwest Atlanta. Again, because that's something that you would want to see because you're a weirdo. It'd be what do they call that shit? Fuck, I forgot it. Centerfold. Yeah, he'd be the centerfold. Fucking roll that bitch out. There you go. Again, so I find that interesting. But again, so getting back to the injuries and things like that, though. I mean, do you feel that we are more cursed than any other city when it comes to the injuries? What other major injuries would you consider? I mean, I don't know what's shaking with the Dynamo. I don't know if there's been, a significant blow to the Dynamo. I don't know. I guess I'm rapping now. But the thing is, I feel like, we've suffered. And I guess you can't really knock the Astros because the Astros won it all, even in spite of those injuries. Like I said, a lot of them happened kind of mid-season when the Astros had kind of slowed down a little bit last year, and everybody tried to jump off. They're doing so bad. I'm like, man, I'm not a big baseball fan. I'm not wise in the ways of the. I don't even know what the nickname for baseball is. I don't have any alternative terminology for it. I'll have to work on that. But not ways in the way of the baseball and the game of the baseball. And so, but I could tell, I'm just like, hey, the Astros are in a slump. I mean, fucking seemed like half the known names are fucking injured, and they still had the. Well, I don't know if that time they had the best record still, but they had a decent lead, I think, on folks. I got to go back and check some things out. And once everybody kind of recovered, everything got back on track, and they did what they were supposed to do, and they won it all. America's favorite pastime. Is baseball still America's favorite pastime? Is it? Because, you literally just kind of pass the time watching it, because it's kind of I don't want to say it's necessarily slow boogie. When action happens, it happens. But football's the same way. Because football's like there's really a lot of non-activity going on, and then you get these little 5 to 6 second plays at a time, and that's when all the action starts. But I would think that football, because football trumps, no pun intended, football trumps everything else when it comes to sports. And is that because you only get so few football games? You only get 16 games. Every other sport, you're pushing close to 100 games. You know what I mean? Baseball, you're over 100. Basketball, 80-something fucking games. Soccer, I know it's not that many. But football, you only get a couple of games, man. And I think that the weight of each one of those games is so significant that maybe that adds to the value. I have no idea. Say, brother says, hell no, baseball is no longer the sport. Okay. Baseball is like chess. Baseball is just like football during the weights. You see the tactics. Okay, absolutely. Interesting that these injuries are happening when we can potentially achieve greatness. Exactly. We're still waiting for greatness. So there you go. Astros in cruise control. Probably get the show in a couple of years. Okay. Bring back basketball. Basketball is over, man. It's going to be, I'm not going to say it's over, but it's going to be a down year for basketball next year, I promise. Like, except in the state of California, nobody's going to really give a fuck about it. You're going to have, like, the Celtics and people in California because they're going to think LeBron can do something, which he's not. Because, like I said, right now, I don't even think his team is not better than the Cavaliers team he had, in my opinion. And we saw how he responded to that. That's really what you're going to get. In Houston, a lot of y'all have abandoned ship. I still think that we're going to make something shake, because I think that we have smarter players here in Houston. We may not have all the tools right now. We have a few things we have to tweak, and we have to find a way to retain Muthaf, and Capella's going to be all right, because like I said, the Rock's going to match anything that they give him. But I've already told you guys about how I feel that's going to play out long term. But basketball is dying. Or let's discuss that for a little bit. Let's spend a couple of minutes talking about that. Where are we at here? All right, we'll call it. Because I don't think the sport of basketball is dying. I think people want basketball more than ever because it's so international, and you see the. Guess I shouldn't push the shift when I have the cap locks on. Because I think basketball itself, the sport, and the love for the sport is growing. But I think the NBA, they allowed the players to play them this year. And I think public interest is going to kind of be elsewhere. And again, nobody's probably going to really pay any attention until the playoffs, and which most people don't. But I think it's going to be even worse this year because it's just a lot of teams that just have absolutely no fucking chance. And it's going to be a lot of people who are just not even going to buy into it. A lot more casual fans are going to say, fuck it, my team is this. They're just not going to make it. But if the NBA continues to allow these trends to happen where players are kind of lumping up in only 2 or 3 places, one, right now you're talking about all-time great in LeBron, who may be the greatest to ever do it when it's all said and done. You got Kevin Durant, who's supposed to be the second best. I don't know where people rank Curry, but this is a guy who's an MVP multiple times. And you see these guys running and jockeying other players to come join them. This sets a bad precedence for the fucking young players. I mean, the fact that you have players like Joel Embiid trying to beg LeBron to come. You're like, fuck that. You're young. What the fuck are you? You got your whole career to prove. Like, you don't. If you ain't been in the league 5 years, you need to shut the fuck up about trying to beg somebody to come there, and you need to be trying to earn it. You know. I understand veterans. You know, hey, I've been in the league 10, 12 years. Hey, my window is closing. I can respect that a little bit more. You know, after you put some time in, or you've accomplished some things on your own, and now it's time to get there. But when you haven't done anything, when you haven't set a record, you ain't done a shit, and you begging for all-time greats to come play with you, I think you fucking tripping. But how do y'all feel about that? Do you think that the NBA is going to be on a decline? Well, it's more like the NBA ratings will still be up so people can just see the Warriors fail. That's going to be, I mean, honestly, people are going to watch the Warriors because they want to see the Warriors lose. But alrighty. There's that. So make sure we had to put that there. Yes, the attack of the Comcast. So we got to make sure we put that in there. Gotta love them, right? Or Xfinity, whatever the fuck their names is. I thought all that shit was the same. Time Warner, Xfinity, Comcast, all the shit. They're getting disrespectful. You know, the Crow comes back. Because we had actually been good for a while. I think we've been good since the Crow's been gone. And then the Crow comes back. Comcast attacks. What's up with that? Is there a correlation between the Crow and the Comcast? Shit, to what? There are no other options. What else do you get to switch to? Fucking nothing. To what? To fuck DSL or some shit? No, hell no. The only other motherfuckers around here who we were actually with before fucking Comcast, I can't even think of the name of the company now. They're fucking ass too. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Devontae, what's the motherfucking deal? Correlation. Yes, there's definitely a correlation. But I am limited in my access to where I am, so I have to use Wi-Fi at this because there would be there are some hindrances for me to using a hard line. So there's that. The Crow is a pro. See, the Crow, what happened is I spent all the money on his Gucci shades and couldn't afford the Comcast, and so the Comcast was like, fuck y'all. Crowcast. That's what it is. That's a good one, Voodoo. Good one. But again, like I say, it was Gucci while the Crow was good. I don't know, man. Crow might be plotting, man. The Crow might be plotting. So, again, the NBA and how things are going and the way things are looking. I mean, how do you guys feel? Do you feel that? I know also Strive for Greatness says that he will. No word. I have to look at that then. I'll definitely have to look at that. Well, we'll definitely take a look at that, man. Because I think we just end up for like fucking 2 months ago, just fucking renewed with fucking shitty ass Comcast. Let me see that. Because like I say, it used to be with Verizon a long time ago. I didn't think that they had upgraded. So I'll look into that for the good of the sauce. Hey, the pigeons get a little freaky. I think he has a dove fetish too, though. We're talking about just injuries in the city and how injuries have affected, you know, Houston at the most critical times. You know, we talked about the Texans and how they lost everything last year. We talked about how CP3, you know, the injury came at the worst possible time for the Rockets. You know, we talked about how the Astros are going through some things right now, and we kind of referred to last year when, you know, they had those injuries, but they bounced back. You know, it is what it is. But here's the thing: if the Rockets beat the Warriors this season, they should have beat them last year. I mean, in my mind, they with CP3, they win that. But again, no moral victories. If they beat them this season, I mean, good, we win it all again. Because if the Rockets end up seeing the Warriors at any time during the playoffs, most likely the Western Conference Finals, because again, LeBron, what you guys got to realize is LeBron had an easy path in the East for so many years because all the talent is in the West. I mean, you look at all the the all NBA teams. I mean, the overwhelming majority of players are from the West. It's like LeBron and then everybody else. So now you got to realize LeBron has to come to the West, and he's going to have to go way harder than he did in the East. He's going to have to exert more effort because, again, like I said, I don't feel like that team is as talented as he has, and he's going to have to face more talented teams on a nightly basis. It's going to be a tougher road than people want to believe. It's exciting. Oh, LeBron plus Lakers, the Lakers. It's going to be greatness again. He's bringing back the franchise. Don't get the hopes too high. I don't think it's going to go. Yeah, exactly. Rondo, Stevenson. Stevenson's going to be there just to give him ear massages when he gets angry, just blowing his ear to calm him down. Yeah, they're still trash though, and so that's my thing. Stop it. You see, Boogie and Katie must be there besides Drake. Yeah, Drake ass. Look, if I was the Raptors, I would ban Drake. Like, instead of trying to embrace him like he's really contributing to the team, I'd ban him. Like, I don't see how people. Again, I don't even want to get into it because it's like it's gonna sound like hating, and it might be, but it's just like the dude never claimed any of this shit. He was claiming all kind of American cities first, and he went from Houston to Atlanta to Vegas to wherever else was cool. And then, he'd probably fucking off in Cali for a little bit, and then finally, once he kind of has an established career, starts repping Toronto when a couple other guys come out of Canada. And it's cool for them to rep Canada because they were repping it from the rip, and then he kind of goes back and starts doing it. And then now he's just the face of that. But I mean, I guess, whatever attention it draws, it gets butts in the seats, I guess then it's cool. Because most people going to Raptors games to watch LeBron abuse the dinosaurs, and hopefully that Drake will give an autograph or something. So there's that. YouTube wants you to be clean. My thing is this. I don't know. Again, like I said, I have not heard anything from the Drake album. I will not be listening to it. Drake is not an artist I check for, and so I don't really give a damn about it. But again, real family, I expect that from you because you a downtown Atlanta ass nigga. So okay. What's the motherfucking deal, Jay Dizzle, man? Good time, good job, good to see you. Good job. Good to see you. But again, like I say, man, I don't think the NBA is going to be that great. Injuries have affected us. I'm going to crack the sauce line open for a couple of minutes. What I got going here. Okay, cool. And like I said, if y'all want to call in, if y'all got any sauce y'all want to splash, I'll turn that on for a little bit. And again, make sure you guys tune in later to the Kush Den. We'll be having a very interesting conversation. The conversation in the Kush Den will be why I stopped identifying as a pro-black. Like I said, it may be what you think it is. It might not be quite what you think it is. But I think you should definitely check it out if that's interesting to you. We'll be doing that at 9 o'clock. And we always have fun in the den, no matter what the topic, no matter how controversial it may be, or, how matter of fun it may be. So make sure you guys do that. I'm going to be honest, real family, I don't want you to call me either. So we're both on the same page. Hey, you call a lot of dudes' phones, but please don't call mine, Make the NBA great again. Now that might be something right there. That might be that is the deal. Pro-black, Professor Black. Good deal. Yeah, good deal, Project Man. Because I always enjoy when you come through. You always bring some very insightful points, and I definitely always enjoy the input. Yes, I'm definitely not a professional. So there, I guess I lose already. But it is what it is. Again, Sauce Nation. I want to know. I hope everybody made it through their holidays dry as possible. Did anybody pop fireworks on their own? I'd like to know. I saw a video. It was very interesting. People do some strange things for attention, but this guy got exactly what he deserved. It wasn't quite a JPP situation, but someone decided to light a bottle rocket basically in his ass, and you can imagine how that went. So that's definitely what he definitely got what he deserved. I found that to be very, very funny. All you did was drink your life away. Okay.
It's too much sauce.
The motherfucking crow.
Okay. Alrighty. Damn, did I change the super chat up to the crow too? Okay, because I was going to do that one originally, but then so I guess I got to switch. I might have set the wrong things. What I was going to supposed to be the Streamlabs is supposed to be the crow, but I might have changed it yesterday and then switch it. But I don't know. I was doing too much shit. Yeah, I'm telling you, I've been on a mash mode. So I've been putting in a lot of extracurricular activities. Man, some things are definitely going to shake. Oh man, did I miss a sauce call? I apologize. Let me switch that up. I did not have the shit activated. I'm over here looking at the damn crow. All right. Let's see. Make sure that's in. I apologize if you called in, man. Feel free to call back. I got a text here on the sauce line, or the crow line. That's what we're going to call it today. It's the crow line. All right, what's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the sauce line this evening?
What's going on, Honcho?
What's
happening? We're hearing the voice of Dr. Rabbit 19.
Okay. Good deal. What's up, Dr. Rabbit?
Now, I know it's not fucking Friday, but fuck the Titans, man. I hate them. I don't like them.
I can always agree with that. It doesn't have to be Friday to say fuck the Titans. That's like a everyday thing. Man.
Yeah, but what I also wanted to discuss is what, aside from the fact that you are probably going to create another why the Texans are going 16-0, what are your predictions on the Texans this year?
My predictions? All right, that's better. I'm gonna jump into that. I'm gonna hang up on you, and I'm gonna deep dive into that. I appreciate you calling, Dr.
Right.
Rabbit. Man, I sincerely appreciate that. I'm gonna take one of Dr. Rabbit's dogs one day and let Scotty play with him. But Scotty's a loner. He doesn't play friendly. He doesn't ever play. He wants to sniff other dogs, but then when they try to get friendly with him, he tries to run off. But yeah, I do believe we kind of got into it the other day when we were breaking down, looking at the record. I believe we came to the conclusion of 11-5, and I don't know what I did with that paper. It's around here somewhere. I feel like at worst, that's what they should be. Bill O'Brien, I've said this before, I'm a Bill O'Brien supporter. I never said I feel like he's a great coach, but I feel like he's a competent coach. I feel like he has a different air about him this year. A lot of people have talked about how he seemed more casual, more carefree. He's talked about it himself, that he's kind of loosened up a little bit. And I feel like Deshaun Watson is the big impact on that. I feel like he's kind of he knows that he's playing with a loaded deck. And I think that he's going to surprise a lot of people who have not had a lot of faith in him. But at the very lowest, it should be 11-5. We are overdue for a double-digit win season. I mean, I know things happen. But with everything being as it should, if everybody stays healthy, and I'm accounting for a game here, a game there that somebody might be out. But if everybody stays healthy, I don't see any reason we should be lower than 11-5. And I'm dead serious about that. Bob the Builder, stop it. I'm going to give who wants credit for that Bob the Builder comment, because I'm not giving Real Family any credit. He gets no credit. He's a harasser. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to see what it's saying. Your opinion on the MLD and the idea that in 5 years it will take the MOB and potentially the NBA. You lost me on that one. A bunch of, what was that, acronyms that I don't know. So I'm not sure if that's what it was supposed to be. But I see MLD. I know the MOB, money over bitches. You can't ever overtake that. But all right, we got another call coming. Oh, it's the boy Wise. What's the motherfucking deal, Wise? What you got? What kind of sauce you want to spill on the sauce line tonight?
Nothing was good. So I was gonna say, if you can take away an injury from any player in Houston's any professional sports team, if you can prevent any injury from any single player, who would it be and why?
Man, that's a great question. I'm going to jump on them, hang up on you, and I'm going to answer that right now. Bet, I appreciate that call. Wow, that's a great fucking question. And immediately, you know, I'm going with my first mind because initially I had a thought and then I kind of thought about someone else. I'm going to go with CP3 because of how close we were in that position. I feel like CP3 being in that game or being able to play against the Warriors, we win it. I just feel more than confident in being able to say that. And I think the rest of the world knows that. Of course, the second one would have been Watson, just to watch him, you know, have a chance to break all the rookie records. But again, that wasn't as close to guaranteed. Again, with the shitty line and everybody else going down around him because there's so many factors that go into a solid football team. But I think Chris Paul alone being that guy and everybody else was what they were. I think you're looking at the Rockets having a fucking championship this year. And then you're looking at the fucking Golden State Warriors breaking up because they realize that we're not good enough. But they probably try to go recruit, you know, go massage some more nuts and bring some more guys in and try to overtake the Rockets. Because, again, we didn't beat them this year, and they definitely tried to revamp. Definitely CP3. That's a great question, man. That was a great question. You going to say JJ? Texas go 14-2, lose to Golden State for somehow fucking Tom Brady's playing point guard for them. So definitely, man. That's all right, Heidi. Well, appreciate you falling through. You know, get you some signatures and make the den, you know, so you can comment. You'll be officially black. How many signatures did you need? But J.J. Watt is a good one, too. And maybe if it was Watt, if we're talking about, like I say, maybe not this year, the initial, not the injury from last, but the year before, you know, when he had the back, that's probably, I probably would have prevented that, you know, so that way he has, because I think eventually that's going to stun his career a little bit in the long term. You know, just, I mean, it'll be problems in the long run. So I definitely, man, that was a great fucking question because, I mean, there's so fucking many of them. That's a great fucking question. Man, I appreciate that, Wise. Shout out to Wise, man. Make sure y'all check out Wise Sports, man. And go show some love. Follow on Twitter. Follow on, why did I see you get on the gram, Wise? You know what I'm saying? Doth mine eyes deceive me? Foreman's going to be interesting, but I think Foreman's going to be already. He's going to be all right already. All right. Said, besides the Texans, is there any other team that I'm keeping an eye on? If we're talking football, I'm going to keep an eye on Baltimore. Even though I'm, like I say, not the biggest Lamar Jackson fan, didn't really care for him in college. Fucking Houston whooped his fucking ass. So it shows that I don't think that he's good, but I don't think he alone is as good as people think. He was able to use his talent to dominate a lot of players. But again, like I said, he came to Houston, got waylaid, just got dismantled. So I think there's going to be some things to work on with him. But I want to see if he has the grit and determination to be successful. I want him to use that fuel to prove people wrong, you know. But right now, I think Baltimore's going to end up fucking him over. Like, I think they're going to end up ruining him before he gets a real chance to, with this two quarterback schematic crap that they're trying to run and this gimmick shit. Like I said, I think they're fucking him off. I think he needs to let him go have a legitimate competition between him and Flacco. Flacco's on the tail end. We know what he is. Look, I mean, when you think of Flacco, the first thing I think of is that fucking concussion picture and how he fucking looked like he didn't know what planet he was fucking on. I think that I don't think Lamar will be better than Deshaun, but he has some pieces that he can work with there, and I think that he could be solid. I just want to see how he progresses. So I'm not even saying that's a whole team, but I'm kind of going to pay attention to what's happening over there. I'm going to kind of see what's happening with the Browns. I don't think Baker's going to be the guy, but I just want to kind of see how they progress with all the assets that they've had, and see what kind of team they put together, and if it's really Hugh or if they really have something going on. Let's say Tom Herman ruined his draft stock. Yep. Who else? Who else will I find interesting this year? I'm gonna watch. I'm not gonna not root for, but I'll be keeping an eye on the Titans because I want to see Vrabel fail miserably, and I think that he will. Who else? Who else? Right now, they've given the fucking Patriots like the best odds to reach the playoffs. It would be great to see the Patriots not make the playoffs. I would love that. If that happened, Tom Brady retires instantly. I think right now, I mean, those are the teams that kind of come to mind. Let's see. Hold on. I think we got another text here on the. Okay, that's cool. Excellent. Great, Gucci. I'm fucking doing surveys and shit. Major League Soccer. Okay. And oh man, those are two good questions. Okay, saying the MLS. Okay. That the Major League Soccer will overtake baseball and the NBA. That will be a very, very interesting. I mean, I see soccer. Man, somebody made a very. Who was it? Hope Solo. I think it was her. That's the only name I know. And I think she made a very interesting point. And she was talking about why the men's American team never makes or struggles to make the World Cup. And I think the point is very interesting because she talked about how soccer isn't pushed or embraced in more urban areas. It's more of like an upper class white sport. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you look at all these other countries, to me it seems like a lot of these stars come from poor areas. They grow up in, less than ideal conditions. And they have a love for this game, and they play harder, and they make it a part of their life. Or maybe it's an escape as a tool to escape the conditions they're in. I don't know how cool it would be. I don't know if more urban kids or black. I mean, I'm sure Hispanics are, because I see Mexicans play soccer everywhere. Go to any fucking park, I've seen them playing on a fucking basketball court. So I'm sure it's more embraced in that light. But I don't know about leagues and things like that because I don't know how the little leagues go for the soccer teams and stuff like that. So I think that would be very interesting to see how that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Look, Griff, I don't watch fucking soccer like that. I'm just going by what she said, okay? But even then, aren't a lot of our players, as far as our MLS, okay, aren't they considered lower tier players compared to the rest of the world? So that's what I'm trying to figure out. So, like I said, I'm not a soccer head. I don't know. I'm asking questions, and that's what I say is you guys are the fresh ingredients, and your points are there to, like I say, y'all are part of this thing. Everybody from a real family. Real family, I don't really care about what the fuck you be talking about. Heidi was trying to get a petition to be black. Yeah, that's my thing. I mean, shit, they showing titties in hockey, still waiting for greatness. So if soccer becomes anything like hockey and we get tits on display, then I'll start paying more attention. I'll give you all the details. You know what I would like, though? And I think we're supposed to be getting one real soon. I want to say it's supposed to be 2019, 2020, something like that. I think that, the foundation is already being laid, but not just for the sexual gratification, but because I believe it's actually a very good sport because I think the players play extremely hard. And I think a lot of people sleep on it as a kind of a gimmicky thing. But the LFL, formerly the Lingerie Football League, now known as the Legends Football League, those women play fucking football. They get into it. It's not no bullshit. Them motherfuckers be out there playing ball, and they're damn good. So my thing is I want to be very excited when Houston gets a team. Look, we're going to be Sauce. We're going to be the official spokespeople of the LFL. Jason Whitlock. My thing is, I think that if you guys don't watch it, I don't know how they can market it any better. I think a lot of guys, they have girlfriends, so they're going to be afraid to watch it. They don't want to get beat up by their old ladies or whatever. But those women play damn good football. And it's good football. I mean, you definitely got to check it out. All right, I got a call coming in on the Sauce line. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the Sauce line this evening?
What's up, Honcho? This is Devontae.
Hey, what's up, Devontae? What's good?
All right, I'm calling because I want your input on, the Philadelphia Eagles. We got that game in Week 16, and then Week 17 we got the Jaguars. I know by that time I expect the Texans to do well, so maybe by that game we probably already clinched the division and stuff like that. But the issue is, I just want to beat Jacksonville at home because it might eventually start it. So, how do you feel about that?
Okay. That's a bet I'm hang up on you. I'm going to talk about that, man. That's a very interesting one. With week, I think it was Philly, then Jacksonville. And I think that second Jacksonville, that's when we're playing here, if I'm not mistaken. If we're playing here, because I think we went down that list, I said I think we lost to Jacksonville in Jacksonville, but I think when they came here, I counted that as a win. Again, I feel like we end up smashing the division again. Like I say, Jacksonville has a solid defense. We're going to see how it plays out. Indy, I think we gave us a loss up in Indy, but I'm kind of 50-50 on that. That was just kind of sketchy. Like I said, I think it's going to depend on how Luck ends up looking when he first comes back. Philadelphia, I counted that as an L too, just because the experience, and I think we play in Philly. And if we're playing there, I see it as a bit more problematic. People in Philly like to eat shit, so I'm pretty sure that that stadium's going to smell like ass. But yeah, if we're at home, if we're playing them at home, we get that win. We're going to get that win. I'm telling you, y'all got to understand something about this kid Watson. And he has this fire inside of him, and I think he's taken into account. Hey, it's the first NFL game that I got into. I wasn't able to come back and get that W. He wants to beat Jacksonville. He wants to prove some things. He wants to go up against the best defense. And, I mean, you've seen what he's done against some of the greatest considered one of the greatest defenses in league history, or at least used to be, that Seattle team. And you see how defenders, people who are trying to stop this guy, even Ramsey, and I'm telling you, Ramsey is DeAndre Hopkins' #1 fan, because I seen the little thing they were doing with him on might have been NFL Network when they were asking how he covers AB, to how he covers Hopkins, to how he covers I forgot who the third receiver was, but he kept saying Hopkins. He talked about Hopkins a lot, and then when they were just running through it, buddy, actually the only pass he caught was when the one he was supposed to be imitating Hopkins. So that tells you something. But I definitely do think that it's going to be quite interesting. And I think that the Texans are going to embarrass some people. Like I said, this is not just me being overly prideful. I can't lie, though. The one thing I do worry about, and this is a big worry, is the O-line. The interior, maybe not so much. But the tackles, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And that's like over the whole Texans team, that's my biggest concern. Roscoe, what's the motherfucking deal? You know what I mean? So I think that's going to be the one to look at. So, but like I say, at home we get the win. Philly, I think we might take that L. But I agree we should have the division solid by then. If we're playing the way that we should be playing, if we're living up to the capabilities of the talent on this team, not just the players, but the actual upper end talent, we should be able to seal the division without a problem. But like I say, with that being said, because of the tacos, Bob, you fired on the spot. 12-4. You said 12-4. Like I say, I can see that. Like I say, I feel 11-5. Like I say, 11-5 at the worst. That's what I'm. I mean, honest. Like at the worst, that's what it should be. Anything, you have those anomalies, and sometimes things happen. Anything less than double digits, again, with us. And I hate when you say, "Oh, you got the easiest record," because you're not playing the same teams from last year. And I think too, the Jags aren't going to surprise anybody this year. A lot of people just kind of like, it's the Jags, it is that stigma stayed, and then they kind of start, towards the end, people started respecting them. Because you have a lot of teams who start off hot and then fizzle out by the end of the year. And I think once the Jags were a little bit more consistent, people start paying attention. So I don't think they surprise anybody this year. People are going to be ready for what they got. But overall, double-digit wins, or it's a waste of a season. You know what I mean? At this point, he has to He he has to. He has to do better than 9-7. 9-7 is no longer acceptable. Got a quarterback, defense coming back, Cornell back on defense. It's going to be interesting to see. So here it is. Bad look, I don't fuck with them tacos. Oh, and the last question, and we're going to call it a wrap after this because there was another question on the text line, and then we're going to call it a wrap. Said, how big will the Dallas and Houston game be? I think it might be outside of the Super Bowl. And let me think about it. Let me think about this. It says, okay, how big is the Texas versus Cowboys game going to mean? In Texas, it's going to be the Texas Super Bowl. I mean, because now you're talking about Deshaun Watson, who's better than Dak by far. It's not even close. You're talking about a Cowboys team who's their number one receiver. It's going to be very interesting to see. And I think the Texans will win that game. And it's going to be nice because only a minority of people in Texas will get to enjoy that game because it's overwhelmingly Dallas. We know this. They've been here. They've been established. The overwhelming majority of Texas is Dallas. So it's going to be great to walk around with your head high, even in the city of Houston, because we have all these traders here who ride with Dallas. And it's going to be great to walk around with your head high and say, hey, fuck you, asshole. That's what you get for fucking rooting for the wrong team. They can be America's team, or if they think they still are, we'll be Texas' team. And that's how it's going to go down. So he said that he's with the Giants when they won the Super Bowl. Yeah, man, the first ever Texans. That was the first game. That was my first NFL game. I'm looking for the ticket. I have it still somewhere. That's the first NFL game that I ever went to, and that's what made me a fucking Texans fan. I mean, like, that shit. It was great. It was greatness. You know what I mean? So it was definitely lit. Great seats too. But like I say, again, I don't think he was the worst QB in history. I mean, it's just, again, he was put in a shitty position. He was put in a bad position to start off a career with an expansion team, no line, and I feel it's not the proper guidance. So here it is. We're gonna wrap this thing up. We'll take care of a few little things. We'll be in the Kush Den 9 o'clock on the dot, maybe 9:01. You know, sometimes I'll be a little bit late. But we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about why I no longer identify as pro-black. And again, I think, you know, if you haven't been in the Kush Den yet, it might be a good time for you to check it out. Again, like I say, it's been sober dens. I haven't been smoking no weed. I'm going on a month clean here. Got to make some sacrifices to do some things, take some things to the next level. I'm not saying it's over with, but right now, when you got goals, you got to make sure you can devote all your energy to the attainment of those things. But with that being said, man, that dude Cushington, dog, that dude got my people killed. I ain't playing State of Decay no more. I'm back to Dead by Daylight only. Or what other shit. And then the fucking playground, my shots just wasn't falling. I was like, fuck it. Awful. But with that being said, non-binary pansexual monster truck, well, I'm offended because I identify as an airplane. But with that being said, man, Sauce Nation, y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world, man. I fuck with y'all. I appreciate y'all again for taking the time, because time is the one asset that you can never get back. And the fact that y'all are willing to spend the time stirring up some sauce with your boy, talking Houston sports and other random things on occasion, I sincerely appreciate it. Again, never want to take that for granted. I thank y'all. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. We're chunking up the deuce. See y'all at 9 in the Kush Den, and we out.